So
I have to go get my father one today. I'm afraid my father might get mine. I'm a little scared. One of the heart. And be. Yeah, that's right. Exactly. 100%. I've done it before. Yeah.
So the shaila is eating before blowing shofar. So usually the shaila comes up two parts. There's eating before musaf, before tkiyos. If someone's not feeling, could they eat before blowing shofar, or after shofar before musaf? That's one part of the discussion. The part of the discussion is eating in the morning.
Just in that would be in general, right?
Because after davening, eating after eating. No, so eating after
We're talking about Rosh Hashanah.
Yeah, before. So the eating after musaf is more complicated. You have problems of kiddush. Could eat before kiddush. You have to make kiddush before, but you're not. How would you have to eat? You have to eat b'makim suda. So that's one part. We're here going to be focusing mostly on eating before davening. There's no issur of kiddush. The only question is eating before blowing shofar. So
focus on could you eat before you blow shofar?
Yeah. So the halacha is it's brought down by Hilchos Lulav that when it comes to being the kaim mitzvah, you're not supposed to eat a meal beforehand because you might get carried away with it and you'll forget about the mitzvah. So this halacha is brought down in the Torah in Siman Tov Rishon Beis. The Torah writes, "Va'asu la'echol kodim sheyitlanu." Before you take the lulav, you shake the lulav. It's also to eat. So this is the gift for Sukkot also, not only for now. Someone forgot and he started eating a meal. So before he shook the lulav, but who al shulchane, and he said he has it there. So on the first day of Yom Tiv, you have to stop here, interrupt your meal. I feel even if there's plenty of time to shake the lulav after you finish eating. Since it's midaraisa, you have to stop your meal and go shake the lulav. But
I wouldn't compare shofar to this. Because shofar you do barabim. I'm not going to forget.
I was thinking the same thing. Everybody goes to shul. It's not lulav.
So the halacha is so the halacha over here is when it comes to sukkah and when it comes to before davening or kriyas, you're not allowed to eat a meal because you're going to get carried away with it.
Does it mention the halachas of not eating them? Rosh Hashanah. That's
so Rosh
just comparing it to lulav.
So Rosh Hashanah in Shofar doesn't say clear that there's issur to eat before davening. However, the Magen Avraham brings down Tosefta. The Tosefta fact says clearly that Sai Lulav, Sai Esrei, Sai Lulav, Sai Megillah, Sai Shofar.
Anymore by those.
Sai Shofar, you're not supposed to eat before all of them.
How would they medam it? The Torah gave a reason by lulav that you're going to forget. Those you're not going to forget. You're going to shul. It's barabim.
Oh, so you're asking a shaila. It's barabim. There's some. So there are some. So even there are some later achronim who want to say such a word. I saw the Tzitz Eliezer and the Koi Yisrael wants to say a word that. How come the Shulchan Aruch doesn't say Isra eating before blowing shofar? It says because lulav is a mitzvah you do by yourself. So when you're doing it by yourself, you're worried a person's going to get farcham.
We. How do we say we?
What's eating is business or drinking?
So eating is usually a hametzi or a mezayin is more than a kaveya. That's what we're talking about here.
Drinking shouldn't be.
So we're going to get there, right? Eating, there's three types of eating. There's eating mezayin or hametzi more than a kaveya. There's eating other things less than a kaveya or fruits and pears as much as you want, and then there's drinking. So right now we're talking about a meal, eating more than a kaveya.
What about a yogurt? Is yogurt considered food?
We're going to get there. We're going to get there. So the
Awesome. Let's start.
Stringent one, which is a full meal.
So yeah. So there are some later achreinim like this. Eliezer wants to be machalik between Rosh Hashanah, since it's a mitzvah done b'tzibur. There's no issur of eating beforehand. But most of the chashav of placing the Magen Avraham bring down Tosefta, which says clear that the issur is also by blowing shofar, and a lot of them, the Mat Ephraim also mentions the issur. Most of the chashav of placing all say that it's also there's no chiluk.
It didn't say Birchas HaTorah.
Eating before Birchas HaTorah?
No, Birchas HaTorah.
Place Hashem.
Machlekes is Birchas HaTorah.
Sie darf erwarten. Okay. So the shine.
bin ich jetzt mit Brachs in der Früh.
Ja, aber der Rest hat es nie gesagt.
Listen, could you eat before saying Brachas Satayra? Could it be the same? Or saying Kriyashma, or before Kriyashma? You know, it's the same Shiloh.
Sonst ein Mitzvah mit der
Yeah.
Ja, aber Krishma ist besser zu lernen Krishma.
Yeah, you have a shame, right?
Katchila ist besser zu lernen Krishma mit den Brocken.
Wenn in der Früh.
In der Früh, man soll nicht lernen Krishma. Man kann daven
Yeah, if you're going to daven Mizman, it's better to daven not to say Krishma beforehand.
Man kann kein nicht trinken, kein nicht essen.
Nein, aber ein Mensch weiß, dass geht damit mit Amina. Und geht lernen, der Krishma fahren damit und Nessen.
Yeah, we're saying this is sudden. It's better to daven say Krishma with the meaning to
But
say
you're
with the
gonna
Brachas.
do it anyway.
Fein, mir dat nach Schachlis Roshana, mag ich machen Kiddush. Mag ich essen.
Ja,
That's a separate.
That's what we're talking about, really.
We're talking before, right? Because after Shemon Esrei, there's a shaila of could you make kiddush before Musaf? That gets more complicated. Are you allowed to make kiddush before Musaf? That's. Here we're talking also. We're talking about before
You said
davening.
Brachas, you you said Krishna. The only problem is now you're missing
Shofar. Yeah. So halacha is also to eat more than a kabeya of mezanis or bread.
So my question is only this. Why every day, everybody drinking? Before Tefillin, before Krishna. Later. Winter so eine Krishna.
Atade wird nicht vergessen. Atade wird nicht vergessen. Einmal in der vergessen.
Sie scheinen zu vergessen. Sie dort die.
Nein, sie wird vergessen.
Saivi, there's a. Hey, Saivi is eating before davening Saivi, even on Kriyashma. Veel namen from me, alright. Yeah. Yeah, the fact was is better. The fact was is better. It's essence like Kriyashma with the. Yeah. And so this is all going to get to eating more than a kabeya of mezainis. So the shayla is, what if you're going to eat less than a kabeya, or you're only going to eat peiros fruits? You're just going to drink water. Is that going to be mutter? Is that okay in the morning before hearing shofar? So meikar din l'chayrutz mutter, right? By hilchos kriyashma, by the halachas of mincha, it's brought down the halacha that you're allowed to eat less than a kabeya, or you're allowed to eat other peiros before davening. So the Magen Avram in Maramaka number 2, he says, so he brings down the Chayretz Mutter. He writes, he's talking about Megillah. If you're allowed to eat before hearing Megillah. So he says, V'hine kivne b'kriyashma v'chametz shari te'ima. You're allowed to eat before, you're allowed to taste, meaning peiros or mezainis less than a kabeya. Kamei shekazah b'sim rishon mehevet taflam and beis. Kavachim for sure when it comes to Megillah, which is only midrabanan. But nevertheless, he says, Mikol makim ein lahakel elo l'tzerach hagadol. And l'chayra me'ikar adin is mutter. There's no isser of only te'ima, of eating less than a kabeya, of eating other things before saying Kriya Shema or hearing Megillah. Still, the Magen Avraham says ein lahakel elo l'tzerach hagadol. So
if you eat a little, you might end up eating a lot. You eat a lot, you might forget the mitzvah.
So he doesn't say what it is. Is it because there's some chashash al pi halacha, or is it al hither mitzvah because you don't want to eat before mitzvah? He doesn't say what's the reason why you shouldn't eat before any tzedek gadol.
Maybe he's afraid you're going to fall asleep. You get a big meal, you fall asleep.
No,
See, we're talking about just tasting. If you're eating less than a kabeya, less than the size of the egg, or if you're only going to eat, let's say, an apple or other stuff, well, we're not worried you're going to get carried away.
Less than
What about a cup of coffee? That's the big question. The rest of it is all.
Also, even
Sachen, was wir Pirsumen nicht starker bei der Reise. Weil Pirsumen nicht, so Chabakivim, so Achir, im Keures Atzmoi, im Keures Ksusoi, zu Mekaim sein Pirsumen nicht. Kreis am Beginn ist Pirsumen nicht, die starker bei der Reise, also der Morgen am Samstag
ich habe machschmecke, wenn schreit dort, as far as Megillah is mehr machmer von Kriya Shema. Als is Chaviv, brings far as dort. Yeah. So this is the Magen Avram here says he should only be Mekel Tzerach Gadol. There's another Magen Avram who brings says as mashma from a tesis that eating before that even tasting less than a kabeya or other fruits is also going to be also. He says it's mashma. It's not clear. For where does he bring this from? There's a Gemara in Sukkah. The Gemara in Sukkah is talking about are you allowed to use an esrog which someone took a bite out of. Rats took a bite out of the esrog. They nibbled on it. Is it kosher? So the Gemara says, look at Maramaki number 3. The Gemara says, "An esrig shenikvu achbarim, Amar Rav inze hodar." It's not a nice esrig. You're not allowed to use it. The Gemara says, "Ini is that true?" Bahar Rav Chanina matbilba. He would dip his food into his esrig, and then he would eat it. And then he would use the esrig. After eating from the esrig, he would go shake it. He would go do the mitzvah. So you take a bite out of the esrig, then he would go shake it.
Maybe that was the hidden. So
the Gemara gives for inference maybe something. The Gemara tries for inference. Halacha, I don't think we hold like that. But Tesis has a shaila. L'chayra, if you're not allowed to eat, how could he take a bite out of the esrog if he didn't shake lulav yet, right? But Tesis asks, he says, "Im kain Rabbi Chanina heichi metabel bo bereisha." How could he eat from the esrog and then go shake lulav? That's Tesis' question. The Magen Avram says, I don't understand. It's peiris, right? It's only to ima. You're not keviyas udon. He's eating a esrog. Esrog is a fruit. We pass in Hilchos Kriyas Shema.
Matbilba implies you're dipping something other food into the esrog.
So that's what he tries to find for that. The Magen Avram says it could be. So first, the Magen Avram says it's mashma from Tesis.
That's immediately.
Mendel say good.
So first day of service, I'll say it's mashma from Tesis that it's also to eat payers and things. But then he says could be matbilba. Tesis understood that he was eating. He was tabling. He was dipping bread in his esrog.
Kann sein, dass Jesus fragt etwas anderes. Jesus fragt, sie doch mukze lekule yoyme. Kann man nicht essen. Wie mehr gerecht essen dem Esrig, hat gekocht in dem Esrig. Man kann wenn die Mitzvah.
No, but I bring in the Hemshech Haloshen, red wegen Isra Achila. In the Hemshech Haloshen, ich kann nicht matig über die ganze Sache, aber red dort wegen Isra Achila.
Red was sie mukze yoyme.
Ich kann noch. Ich denke, dass red dort wegen Essen.
Sind in dem dabei. Es ist nicht Mux, es ist Mux auch kurz was er essen.
Nicht die Mukze.
Ich verstehe. Es ist nicht Mux zu Mitzvah. Betracht, nehmen dabei, sind nicht die ganze Essen, ich gucke zu Mitzvah. Ich höre, was sie sagt, aber I don't agree.
This is a second. So first, the Magen Avram says you shouldn't be making el tzedach gadol. Then there's another Magen Avram says could be Tesis holds that you're not allowed to eat even fruits before shaking lulav. And then there's a third svara.
But how do we get to a lulav and esrog? We're speaking about Shofar.
Because it's all the same halacha. The question is, are you allowed to eat before fulfilling a mitzvah minatayda? You have a mitzvah minatayda to allow. Halacha is you're not allowed to eat because you might get carried away and forget about doing the mitzvah. So that's the same if you're going shaker, if you're shaking the lulav. All mitzvahs would be the same.
But when I ask a very
Shofar Aruch doesn't discuss clearly the esrog, so it doesn't discuss clearly Shofar. So we have to look at the lulav and we'll see what the halacha is by Shofar.
Shofar was written before lulav, because Rosh Hashanah is before Sukkot. So the Shulchan Aruch decided when it comes to Shofar to skip it and only to talk about lulav.
And we're being medamed.
In the Gemara,
we decide to make
the halachas are brought down by lulav. So maybe in Shulchan Aruch is brought down when you get to lulav and not when you get to Shofar. There's a teisefta. Some people, some later acharinim want to say that true. They could be Rosh Hashanah is more mekel, but Pelnav is a teisefta. Magen Avram, Mat Ephraim. They say it's all the same thing. So there's a base mayor. He says another svara.
It's the same way you can forget and go to sleep. The same way you can go to sleep.
Who goes to sleep on Rosh Hashanah?
The base layer
goes to sleep before benching lulav and all day it's vergessen bench lulav and ganze Tag.
Bin ich da Risa. Bei uns hat man gelernt, am geschlafen Rosh Hashanah, dein Mazel schläft.
We can mechalik sein, we can machen a chilik, but you could see also that it's the same.
There's a base mayor. He also wants to say that he gives another reason to be machmir for eating, even just tasting. He wants to say there's a difference between the first days. The first day of Yom Tov Rishon, which is midaraisa. He wants to say even to imo is also, and the second day is only midarabanan. And then he says he could be mekel. What he brings from the Gemara. It's mashma in the Gemara that whenever al pi halacha, if you started eating the isser, you have to stop. You're obligated to interrupt yourself. It's also also to taste. When he brings mashmas in the Gemara, I didn't bring the whole Gemara over here. Yeah, and when are you obligated to stop if you started eating? Only the first day when it's Medaisa. Therefore, you want to say that when it's the Medaisa, you're obligated to stop. I wrote the lesson inside in number 4. He says that he brings the Magen Avraham who is Mekel, but then he argues that Dino Niro Latishita Sheva Plaiskim, Shevesi, which I brought Leel in Shevesi and Simon the Reish Lamed Beis, Shesavim, they hold the Zet Talia Bezeh, one is telling the other, Shekol Hechi da Din Beheskel Be'isser, that whenever the halacha is that when you started eating, when you weren't allowed to, after Ika shows, even though there's enough time to do the mitzvah afterwards, mafsik, you need to stop eating and do the mitzvah. So whenever that is halacha, after Ima Asr, so even tasting is going to be Asr. Okay, Kushya Sagemara Shabbos, Naftes on the base. You see in the Gemara over there that they're both Tali Zebezeh and they're both connected. And the loik not like a Benu Tam, Shemachalik Lamaskana. Im Kain, Hacha, Yemtiv Aleph, on the first day of Yemtiv, Efsher the Osir Nami Tiimo. Kai Gam the Bresha Shana, Kedem Tkir Shofar. Ja, aber zum Safe, geht da in das Achillon, die Anfang aber das weg. So the Ikar, so what's got to Imam Ikar Adin is Hake.
It's that big house.
No, no be on the bridge.
So Ikar Adin to Imam tasting is mutter. It's going to be mutter, but still the Magen Avraham says only be mekel Seirach Gadol, and so it's only on Seirach Gadol to be mekel, and. So the question is, next thing is, what about drinking? Is drinking more makel than eating, or is it the same? Or it should only not be makel tzedach gadol? So I found there's a chuf from the Heshes in Leisha. I think he's a zayda of the Safner Reza. He's a zayda of Elta zayda. Heshes in Leisha. So he writes, he wants to say that te'ima is more kal than eating. Look at Marmukah number 5. I mean, he wants to say that drinking is more lenient than eating. Yeah.
We drink coffee.
A lot of people don't. He says the te'ima sharia. He says you want to say tasting is mutter. Tasting food, eating food is mutter. If it's less than a kaveya, kol shekain the sharia shtia. For sure, you're going to be allowed to drink. Sheina mihamashke hamashaker. If it's not one of the drinks that can make you shikker, kol shekain is going to be mutter. The kvar be arti b'tshuva. I already explained the tshuva earlier. And the te'ima chamura mishtia. I already explained earlier that eating is more of ma chamur than drinking. Even according to what the Magen Avraham says, the mashma mi'ateisu is the te'ima aser. The mashma teisu is that you're not allowed to taste food before eating. The kalmakim shtia, the kaimel and mutter, the hablu leisef Allah.
What's the diet from the shtia is different?
He says what he wrote earlier. I don't know what shuv he's referring to, but he brings afterwards. He wants to bring a similar dogma where you see it's mutter. He says, "Is halacha you're not allowed to eat before feeding your animals. Before you eat, you need to feed your animals." And he brings on Pri Megadim says, even though you can't eat before feeding your animals, but you're allowed to drink before giving your animals to drink. Yeah. So you see over there, there's a difference between drinking and eating. So you want to say even
you might get your coffee.
So the Magen Avraham. So the Heshem Meish wants to say, even according to the Magen Avraham, says that by Tiyuma you shouldn't be makel only when there's a Seirach Gadol. Drinking isn't such a big problem. So this is the Heshem Meish. There are some Pesachim. It's brought down a lot of people that had minhag that even drinking they wouldn't do. And the Mata Ephraim, the Elfa Magin, he brings down that from that there's some chashav people they kind of wouldn't eat because such a chavit and it's such a special chashav by mitzvah, you don't want to eat before doing it. But one of the Sfar, the Sefer he brings it down. The shame is called the. It's a Sefer called
the summon. You can't eat. You saying even
drink.
Half a
Did I say eat? I meant drink.
Okay.
They wouldn't taste anything, even drinking, because it's a special mitzvah. You don't want to do anything. One of the Seis Farm brings down is the Chuvas B'Samim Rush. So this whole Maisa about it that it was a bit of a forgery. The B'Samim Rush. No. The B'Samim Rush. The Shalos and Chuvas. And it was put out originally, the Rosh, the Nosh and the Gemara, so it was put out of shame that this person put out that he found the Chuvas of the Rosh. All set of Chuvas were shown you about, but then a lot of people found out that it was a forgery, it was his own Chuvas. So
does that mean that everything he wrote is discredited?
right, I don't know, he's quoted a lot, and I was saying this minhag is brought down, but look inside in Russian.
It says it's called Samim Rush, but it was he presented it as though he found Shuvas from the Rush. And then he found out no, it's his own.
So look at the Maramaki number 6.
Plagiarism, man. You expect
Exactly. The opposite of
In Maramaki number 6, he brings in the end of the first line, because of the Sefer Pischei Elam, Sheziknei Haya Machmer Alas Mishlei Haya Sheisa Tea. So he was machmer even not to drink tea. He would wake up before it got light outside, so then you weren't able to do the mitzvah, and then he would drink. And he shouldn't do anything beforehand. That should be the first thing you do. And so that's.
And you got to wake up around 4 to have your coffee.
But then that creates a whole problem. You say brachas.
Right. You have to go early.
Wake up before light. Once you wake, you can say brachas.
You say brachas because that's what you started.
It cancels out the whole benefit.
So
Wake up before.
what you say brachas, so you say that your day started already. So you're allowed to wake up.
But you can't. The obligation of Shofar didn't start because you're only able to blow Shofar once you get light.
Okay, so bottom line, that's true. So always find a hack to do this.
I'm saying on the Ikar didn't smutter, and the Ikar didn't smutter even when there's a say of God. Ram says you don't make one there's a say of God. And people want and there's a special. Was für Nates?
Ja, aber eben steht auf als Mann, so der können essen, ne?
Cancel that if you have to wake up at 4 in the morning.
And the Shaila is what. Next thing is what.
Well, you start your day there. You say tell them that.
Yeah. So this has been a get to was eating more than kaveya, less than kaveya and drinking. Now what about for noshim? Is for noshim they're noshim ladies they're obligated in the shofar. It's an Indian for them to be careful. So the Chai Yadam says that for sure noshim they could be makel, they could eat it. They're feeling shvach. In Marmakin number 7 he writes Tkiyas based v'ima isha tzricha le'echel b'shachar. If a lady needs to eat in the morning, teichel koydem hatkiyas, she should eat before hearing shofar. Keep lav hachi medina p'turis. Make her then she's patur for hearing shofar anyways.
Women don't have to hear shofar.
Make her then they don't. This was not saying.
It's related to specific
Today to be mechuyev.
He says.
No, he says v'afal gav shekar kibu aleim chayvon. Even though they're mekabel aleim chayvon, in kol makim the makim sarei chayil yesh leimar delay kiblu.
The Russians are schwer Russian. The Kabel given up nicht sicher. Je schlimmer am Medina sind sie nicht.
They were mekabel in such a situation, where it's bothering them.
As even wir sind schwach, wird man keine gut.
So the question is, what's better? Is this better?
Do it. They're going to do the mitzvah, but
no, he says the Russian kiblu v'lei kiblu.
Right, but I'm saying paid.
They kiblu in all the fun.
So is there not to be claimed for that?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So the question becomes what's better? Is it better to eat in the morning before the kiyos, or should you both kiyos in the morning and then eat? So the Birch Yosef, he brings on that people that had a minhag. There's a place they had. Yeah, for the Gzeira, by the Milchama, Nikolai. Yeah, so but I'm saying but you can't bring a raya. I'm saying Alter Rebbe did such a thing. It's not a heva for us. So the question was really this: the Birch Yosef brings down that people had a minhag to do it. They wake up in the morning, everyone blows shofar, and then they do everything they do. They come to shul, and then they hear to kiss again. So he writes against the minhag. He doesn't like it. So he writes in Maramaki number 8. He says Rabbi Nagul Itkoya couldn't steal Tzil Babaker Hashkin. They wake up to kiss early in the morning. Kamat Kol Hakol. It's supposed to be Yitzim, I think. Yitzim, Yitzim v'achakach takim. Kol yitzim there yitzim v'achakach. Then later takim Yushav. By davening there do the kiss him Yushav. Achak kriya sefer Torah. And he says Shmati shegodol hadar mahari bar David zal irer al zeh. He protested against this minhag. He says he brings in the Gemara. The Gemara brings a nice that the Gemara asks why weren't they mistaken to kill Shofar by the Shachris? Why do you only by Musaf? The Gemara says because it was Exeda. The guy might be worried that they either are revolting and they're blowing trumpets, so therefore they decide they'll do it later after Musaf by Musaf. After they realize that either in Shulach they realize they're only davening. So you see in the Gemara they are mistaken that it shouldn't be in the morning; it should be later. So to come and change the minhag, how are you going to come change the minhag? He also brings down also al Kabbalah. Gam shamati miyam Kabbalah shal derech emes in this koyav b'beker klal. Was?
The scale is to eat or to drink b'devet b'shas atchak before tkiyas.
Or to both
better is to tkiyas before.
So this is a shayla. See, he said.
Now, but Edet the ganze Kol biting the minhag. Efter bei einer was wird machen a Scheile, was wird haben a Scheile gegen zum Rav. Aber dort hat the ganze Kol biting machen a minhag.
Zuerst paar tkiyas or those.
But also the question is, he brings down.
Geht machen Kiddush noch Schachs.
Ja, das ist nicht gut. Das sagt er nicht gut. Aber der Einzige, der ist die beste Sache für einen Blasen.
But even for a yachin, because one of the reasons that's brought down, so the Chayadim brings down, it says that the first 3 hours in the morning, the Ibishos Yeshev B'din. There's a whole scout. I don't remember where for it's a Gemara or from the Zayar. I don't know where. It gives the whole cheshbon Ibishos schedule. The first 3 hours in the morning is Yeshev B'din.
It's the best day to the boat because
to go to Mitzrayim
early in the morning.
And it would be
Well, Shilas was true. Is it better to be mechav the b'yitzer or not to mechav the b'yitzer? A lot of Peskin, the Mate Ephraim says it's better not to. He says it's better. You should mechav not to.
Here we're talking about
Mate Ephraim says if you're blowing early in the morning for a chayla, it's better not to do it in the morning.
But that's a shame. Gagal.
So what's the problem? So one of the reasons for that you shouldn't blow in the morning is that's the first 3 hours in the morning. Neighbor says Yeshiv B'din. It's time of Gvura, so that's not when you want to blow shaker. Right, so could be, he doesn't say. But the Machzik Bracha is another Pirush from Birchei Yosef in the same Sefer. He brings out another reason. He brings out from the Yaakov Tehillim, Maranaki number 9. It says, Amar Pinchas v'shem Rabbi Shubin Levi b'shem Rabbi Alexandrus. Lama ini shall take him b'tefillah rishona. Why don't we daven? Why don't we blow shofar by the first davening? By Shachris ela b'tefillah samusafins. It says Kedei sheyu mitzuyim meleim mitzvahs v'yisku b'din. After Shachris is a long day. We daven Shachris. We did a lot of mitzvahs. We're already full. We're already full of mitzvahs, and then we're going to be zeicha v'dim. We come to blow shofar, we come to even we want to blow kiyas. We want to. The Torah
says why?
That's why you blow a second time. Why were they misakin a second time? Hashemon Esrei is because for the people that came late to shul.
Ah, yeah?
Yeah, but the Torah gesagt hat, wegen der kommen spät in Shul. Mitzuyin, aber teilt die Mitzuyin an. Nicht so, man soll sein Matzi in Shul, sondern man soll haben mehr Mitzvahs von der Kriege mit alles. Ich habe echt gemeint, dass die Mitzuyin, weil mir gelernt, dass das war.
Mitzuyin, Malay Mitzvahs, Yiska B'dim. Malay, du sagst Malay Mitzvahs, als die Shilva sein voll.
Efter das 2 Sachen. Eine ist Mitzuyin und eine ist Malay Mitzvahs. Wow, I didn't see the Lashon inside.
What we learned last week was that the Ikir, the Shmanesra.
Right.
We do what.
Yeah, aber so dann noch hat
they mentioned on the
dass man wird gehen zu der zu fahr Shachris. Will really be a problem.
Stel zich voor dat in school wordt mijn achterzeger in de prik gemaakt. Abraham, wat wil je met een achterzeger in de prik?
Yes, so that's.
Gewen gemacht wie Kampf beim Leben. So wird gewen gemacht wie Kampf beim Leben zu verstehen. Also wird gewen bei Tag. So wird gewen.
Nicht plek zijn allemaal bij Jacobus en niet plek steen op Rem.
But it was empty by the Jacobus.
Daar hebben we toen geen liegen voor Rem Marash. En ze hebben wel zo'n dingen. Ik ben toch even dan wat gezongen.
And so to make a sikkum, so to eating more than a kaveya before shachris, before tekiyas is definitely of mezainis is definitely awesome. Eating less than a kaveya of mezainis or eating other fruits, mikar adin is mutter. Magen Avram says you should only be makel tzedach gadol. Only if it's mamish a big tzedach, you're not going to be able to daven. You might think then you could be makel. Shtiya, so the hesed leish the tshuva you want to say that's more makel even outside of gadol you could be makel to drinking.
There's no meaning of shia.
Yeah. Okay. So hesed leish he wants to say that's more cow. He wants to say it's more cow and say it's okay. But on the other hand, there's also placing to bring down that there's a lot of days to mention they had a special zahidus, a special inning that they wouldn't taste anything, they wouldn't drink, they wouldn't do anything before doing the mitzvah of Shofar.
Okay, so bottom line, you're allowed to drink.
See, take what you want from this one. Everyone takes what they want. See, because that bottom line from the Mexican.
So then the question is, if someone needs to eat, what's better to blow Shofar first or to eat first? So that's.
I might only drink this year. See what you
It's better to eat.